In this video, I'm going to give you 7 tips to build a great culture of trust at your organization, to build an environment where everyone can work collectively and collaboratively. This is Productivity Ace. Let's get it done. Have you ever worked with anyone you don't trust? Maybe it was one of your team, maybe it was even your manager. Do let me know in the comments. I'll be very interested to hear of your experiences. Untrustworthy people make it extremely hard for a team to deliver results. They undermine every aspect of team operations. Building a culture of trust is absolutely critical to have a high-performing team. So as a manager, it's really important that you know the skills that you need to be able to create such an atmosphere in your team. Hopefully these tips will help. Let's go. Tip number 1, empathise and be positive. It seems obvious, but we trust people more when we have enjoyable interactions with them. And generally, the more positive somebody is, the more we have an enjoyable interaction with them. Maybe they light up a room with their personality. Maybe they're just great at getting things done. Maybe they act as the catalyst to bring the best out of others, or maybe they're experts at squashing problems. Whatever it is, if you have a positive experience with somebody, generally you will have a more trustworthy experience. You can get your team to trust you more by connecting with them on a human level, showing empathy and a real interest in what their lives are all about will help you connect better and help you build a more trustworthy partnership. Once you have a connected relationship with somebody and you're empathizing with them on a human level, then you'll find that trust will come naturally after that. Make an effort to understand them, make an effort to understand their issues and the specific problems that they have, what makes them tick, what makes their families tick. If you do that, then trust will come a lot easier. Tip number 2, make good decisions and make them quickly. It's much easier to trust somebody who comes with a proven track record of good decisions and achievement. If you can clearly demonstrate that you know your subject area inside out over a period of time, then you'll find people will trust in your judgment, especially when there's a number of different opinions in the room. At big organizations, having a base level of subject matter expertise is kind of assumed, but it's always important that you add value to the calls you're in, value to the meetings you're in, and that you often make a difference between success and failure. Speed can also be a problem here. Good leaders, trustworthy leaders, make decisions quickly. They don't procrastinate, they trust in their judgment and they find the right outcome and they find it fast. If you can do that and prove to your team that you've got the successful mindset, the mindset to find the solution and find it fast, you'll build a trustworthy relationship. Tip number 3, stay cool, show equanimity. Rather like the best poker players, trustworthy leaders maintain a level of equanimity that means when the chips are down, they'll react in exactly the same way as when things are going great. They won't panic, they won't get flustered, they'll keep calm and cool. With trustworthy leaders, you don't see great displays of emotion, you don't see huge overreactions when things are going bad, and you don't see wild celebrations when things are going well. They have a level of base equanimity that means you can be confident that their mind is functioning correctly, that they're making informed and correct decisions and evaluations, that they're not being swayed by the emotion of the particular situation that they're in. And if you know that somebody's going to respond to problems with a cool head, well, they'll rapidly build your trust. And if you can demonstrate that to your team, well, you'll build trust with them as well. Tip 4, be consistent in your delivery. One of the best pieces of advice that I ever received was to deliver. Build a reputation as somebody who always gets the job done, and you'll become invaluable to clients and an invaluable member of your team, either as a manager or as an employee. We all know the people in our organizations that can be relied on to deliver, those go-to people that you know if you need to get something done, you're going to that person because they always deliver. And on the flip side, you'll also know the people that you'd want to avoid in situations where delivery is all important. So don't be one of them. Be somebody who has a reputation for delivery, and you will find that your clients will trust you, your team will trust you, your managers will trust you. Tip 5, don't be a jerk. We've all got elements of jerk in us. We all have the ability to respond with unnecessary sarcasm, unnecessary aggression, or in the wrong way. And you know what? We all know when it's happening. The key to a trustworthy leader, to a good leader, is somebody who can check those thoughts at source and stop them from happening in the first place. This all comes back to a subject we're very passionate about here on Productivity Ace, and that's emotional intelligence, in particular awareness of self. Self-awareness allows individuals to understand when that jerk statement is coming, check it, chuck it in the recycle bin, save it for another day, or save it for not at all. But hey, we all have bad days, and it's important not to take your bad day out on somebody else. If you feel like your mind isn't quite there and you might be in the realms of responding to somebody in a sarcastic or a jerky way, then lock yourself away and do some paperwork. Let yourself calm down. Key leaders have that level of self-awareness where they can understand what their mind is going to do before it does it. Tip 6, autonomy. Give your people autonomy. What that means is allowing people to take responsibility for the delivery, responsibility for their actions, responsibility and accountability for the work you have given them. Resist the urge to micromanage. You don't need to get down in the weeds if you're giving people autonomy. You set people a task, you allow them to shape the task, put their own stamp on it, and ultimately they are responsible for the delivery of that task. People hate micromanagers. If you can demonstrate that you're not a micromanager and that you're willing to give somebody autonomy and freedom to express themselves, then you will find that that person rapidly builds a trustworthy relationship with you. And if your managers know that they can let you get on with the task and then you'll come back to them with the delivery and it's going to be bang on, brilliant. You'll find they'll trust you implicitly. It's all well and good saying that though. It's not easy to hit consistent delivery every time. It's not easy to deliver on these aspects. Trust is earned, and you can't just say, I'm going to be somebody who delivers all the time. You've actually got to back that up with hardcore actions and results. Tip number 7, freedom to fail. This kind of goes back to tip 6, autonomy. If you're going to give your team autonomy, if you're going to give your team the freedom and the ability to make the decision for themselves, well, they're not going to get it right every time. And then you, as a leader, what you have to do is create that environment when somebody can fail and you're there to catch them in the right way, that you work together as a team, correct the mistakes, stop the mistakes from reoccurring, and move forward. The last thing you want to do is create an environment where people are afraid to fail, because what that will do is it will stifle creativity, it will stifle innovation, you'll find that ideas will dry up, morale will plummet, and trust will be a complete thing of the past. I've worked in environments where people have been too scared to put ideas forward for fear of it being labelled a stupid idea or for fear of it not working, and innovation crumbles. If you give people the freedom to fail, a safe place to fail, you'll find that they'll be firing ideas off left, right and centre, and some of those ideas will be absolutely golden. But that's obviously not an excuse for building up a culture where people fail all the time. You don't want that. You want to be working together to come to the right outcomes. If people fail, explore the reasons behind that and make sure it doesn't repeat. So here's what I need you to do now. Let me know in the comments if any of these tips are useful. Put them into practice at work. Let me know what your results are. And are there any tips that you've got that I've missed for building up a great culture of trust in your organization? Well, let me know down below. Really interested to hear your experiences. And if you like this video, well, consider subscribing, liking, sharing. It makes me feel really, really good. And you know what? I'll trust you as well. So that's it for this one on Productivity Ace. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.